Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Miles and I like to talk about books. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you. So, you may notice by some of the fall decor vibes I have going on today, it's October. You probably, hopefully already know that. I am feeling really excited for the fall season, and I've been wanting to do a favorites video forever. So I figured now is the perfect time to give you my fall favorites. I love all of the seasons. Like kind of whatever season I'm currently in is my favorite one, probably except winter. I love the summer, I love getting to swim, I love how beautiful it is and how full of life everything is, but I also really love fall. And I live in the South, I live in North Carolina, and we have like the most beautiful fall ever. So I really love it here. The leaves are starting to change outside. It is still pretty hot, but it's, we have some cooler mornings where I go out, sit on the porch with my cup of coffee. So I thought it would be the perfect time to film a little fall favorites video for y'all. So let's just get into it. I want to talk about movies first and media, movies, TV shows, and a perfect thing to ease you into fall, like the summer to fall transition for me is Gravity Falls. I love that show. I loved it when I was younger. I watched it like when it was coming out. And I recently revisited it for the first time in a while, and it is just so sweet and wholesome and spooky, of course. I love it. I love the like little cryptid vibes going on. Love the Summerween episode. So if you live somewhere that's a little warmer still, but you still want to like get into the fall spooky vibe, I would recommend Gravity Falls. Next, I feel like this goes without saying, is Over the Garden Wall. One of my favorite shows, pieces of media of all time. If you've seen my tattoo tour, I have a tattoo inspired by it. I love Over the Garden Wall. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's about two brothers that kind of get lost in like an alternate dimension kind of thing, and they're trying to find their way back home, and they encounter all sorts of strange creatures and people along the way. And it is just like this beautiful animation style, and it is like the soundtrack to it is just wonderful. I can't recommend it enough to anybody who even remotely enjoys the fall season. You have to watch this. It's so good. In the same vein, kind of different, but still animation, I will be watching It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I love this sweet little holiday special. I watch it every year. I am really excited to rewatch it. I also have this cute little Snoopy blanket going on behind me right now. Another kind of obvious classic is John Carpenter's Halloween. Once again, if you have not seen this movie, you need to. It is like one of the original slashers. Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing in it. She is like the perfect final girl. I love that movie. It's surprisingly really scary. I think it's aged really well. So if you haven't seen that, please go watch it. For a more niche pick, I would recommend the 80s movie Fright Night. It follows kind of a similar structure as Salem's Lot by Stephen King, and it's about this kid who his neighbor moves in next door, and he's very shady vibes, and he thinks he might be a vampire. It is just so fun and like perfectly 80s. The practical effects are awesome. It is just such a fun movie. I would definitely recommend watching that. It's a good movie to like watch with your friends. Good vampire movie. Another creature feature, a werewolf movie that I have been obsessed with lately is the 2000 movie Ginger Snaps. Oh my God, I love this movie so much. I really love the idea of werewolves. I love werewolf stories, but I feel like werewolf movies never really do what I want them to do, except Ginger Snaps. It is my favorite werewolf movie ever. It is perfectly 2000s. If you like Jennifer's Body, I would recommend watching this. It follows two sisters who are obsessed with death and they're super close, and one of them gets attacked by a werewolf and things kind of go from there. And it has a very similar Jennifer's Body, like hell is a teenage girl thing that I think if you've ever been a teenage girl, you will be able to relate to in some way. Another show I will be watching is Goosebumps. I have 4 episodes of Goosebumps on VHS. This is something else I want to talk about. Do y'all want to hear me talk about my VHS collection? Because I got a tape player this summer and I have been kind of obsessed with it ever since. Another thing I'll be watching is Pet Sematary. I got this on tape the other day. I got The Great Pumpkin on tape the other day. I just really, really like watching things on my VHS player. It is really nice, and instead of watching it like on my laptop, it like forces me to like really actually pay attention and be present. I don't know. Anyways, I will be watching Goosebumps. If you know me, you know I love Goosebumps, and I am really, really excited to have these on tape. I actually just watched this one pretty recently, but The Haunted Mask is a Halloween classic. I know some people didn't grow up with Goosebumps in their lives. The books are not that great, but the show is really, really fun and a really good time. And if you haven't watched it, if you want some like crazy, campy Halloween fun, I would definitely recommend The Haunted Mask. And my personal favorite is One Day at Horrorland. Crazy stuff. Not Halloween, but still really fun regardless. On tape, I also have The Silence of the Lambs, which I haven't seen since I was like 16 years old, but I used to say it was like my favorite horror movie, so I would love to revisit it, and I think it has really nice like fall vibes to it. I think I'm going to be revisiting Pet Sematary. This movie, perfectly 80s, so good. Directed by a woman also, which is pretty cool for the 80s, and a big horror adaptation. That kind of stuff didn't happen too often. This is just a classic. The acting, the casting, everything is perfect. I talked about my complicated relationship with Stephen King in the last video, but this is still a very nostalgic movie for me to watch. I really want to watch the Evil Dead series. I watched Evil Dead Rise this year. I watched Evil Dead 2. But my girlfriend has never seen any of them, so I think I'm gonna force her to watch the original with me. I love that movie. It is so fun, and I think she would really like it, and I really want to rewatch Evil Dead 2 with her because those are just the perfect cabin in the woods movies. Super campy and kind of cheesy at points. Awesome, really fun practical effects. So I am excited to revisit those. My girlfriend has also never seen Coraline or Paranorman, and those kind of go together for me. I definitely like Coraline better. I think it has just like more of an impact on me and my life, but I really, really love that movie. I've loved that movie since it first came out when I was a kid. I saw it in theaters. I had it on DVD with like a special 3D glasses edition. I loved that movie more than anything, and I really, really want to revisit it. And I'm sad that my girlfriend hasn't watched it, so I think I'm waiting for us to have like a nice, cozy, rainy day where we can watch it together. And Paranorman is also really sweet, lesser known, I think. It's about this boy that can see ghosts, and he lives in Salem, and it just has a perfect fall vibe as well. And I love the animation in both of those movies, and I really want to revisit them. I watched these pretty recently this summer, so I don't think I'll be watching them this fall, but I do want to recommend the Fear Street movies that came out on Netflix a couple years ago. So good. I think this trilogy it's so fun. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. There's 3 movies. They all follow the same overarching plot of these kids in the 90s trying to reverse this curse on their town that has been affecting them for years and years. The first movie takes place in the 90s. The second one goes back in time to 1978 to further uncover the effects of the curse. And the last one is in 1666, which is like a witch era vibe, and that one is really fun as well. My favorite one is the middle one. It has a very like Friday the 13th summer camp vibe, but I still think it is good for fall. I would totally recommend it. It's one of my favorite scary movies, especially recent horror films. I feel like can kind of drop the ball sometimes, but I really enjoyed these. They're definitely not perfect. They have some cheesy moments, but they're scary. They have good kills, they have good characters, and there's a lot of lesbian content in it, which I really appreciate. I would have loved these movies when I was younger. The two stars are lesbians. Come on. What more could you want? And last but not least, I think I am going to do a rewatch of The Haunting of Hill House by Mike Flanagan. I love that series, and I haven't come back to it in a couple years. Any of Mike Flanagan's shows, honestly, are perfect for fall and Halloween. I have also thought about revisiting The Midnight Club, which wasn't as good, but definitely has that fun, like, Goosebumps vibe to it. And Midnight Mass, which my girlfriend hasn't seen, so I think I want to make her watch that. Bly Manor is also wonderful. And then he's coming out with a new show, I think on October 12th, which is right before Friday the 13th. And that's The Fall of the House of Usher, and I like that story. I am really, really excited to see what he does with it. And yeah, so those are all of the movies and TV shows that I love, that I'm planning on revisiting. I really like talking about movies, and I don't really ever do it on this channel, so if you enjoyed this little segment of the video, let me know if you would like to hear more about movies from me in the future. I'll put my letterboxd in the description. Next, I wanted to briefly talk about music. I'm gonna plug some of my fall playlists down below if you would like to hear. I have been listening to a lot of the Great Pumpkin soundtrack, a lot of the Over the Garden Wall soundtrack, but besides that, fall makes me feel very into like grungy 90s, early 2000s rock. I've been listening to a lot of like Nirvana and Pavement recently. I don't know, something about fall just feels like moody and edgy in a fun way. I've also been listening to a lot of like 70s rock lately, like Bad Moon Rising, Don't Fear the Reaper, that kind of like classic 70s Halloween fall songs. So, quick little segment on music. I'll put my playlists in the description below. If you're looking for some book recommendations, I have a whole video from like a year or maybe 2 years ago of fall and Halloween book recommendations, but I wanted to add a few that I didn't really talk about, or just tell you what I'm planning on reading, even if I haven't read it before. I think I'm going to do a reread of Neil Gaiman's Coraline. I just talked about the movie. I loved this book as a kid. It scared the shit out of me. On my fall recommendations video, I also say the Graveyard book, but I read that one pretty recently, and I haven't read this in a long time, so I think I am going to read it soon. I want to read Mountain Ghost Stories and Curious Tales of Western North Carolina. This is going to be for my thesis research. I'm writing about witches in early Appalachia, and I think this could give me some good things. So I'm also going to be reading that. It's just going to be fun, like campfire stories kind of vibe. And then coming up soon, I am going to be doing a Goosebumps themed video that I don't want to like give too much away for. So I just picked one Goosebumps book that I'm excited to read. I don't know if I ever even read this one as a kid because the cover of it scared me so much. So I was excited to buy this and to have it in my house. This book terrified me. I am really excited to read it. A few other books that I wanted to plug that I have already read are Scare Waves by Trevor Henderson. I got the ARC for this and I really enjoyed it. It's a middle grade horror by Trevor Henderson, who is an amazing horror artist who's really popular on like, you know, what used to be Twitter and just in the internet horror circles. He created the character Siren Head, if you know anything about that. Good stuff. And I really enjoyed his book. It wasn't perfect. I could have used a little more character development. I could have used I don't know, it felt almost more like a collection of short stories. It was hard to see it all connecting. However, it was scary and it was a middle grade book. And I just really appreciate that because I think I would have loved that as a kid. I ended up giving it 4 stars. And unfortunately, my arc didn't come with most of the illustrations, but I know they're gonna be fucking awesome. So if you want something that is just the perfect blend of spooky, but also won't make you terrified, hopefully, I think Scare Waves would be good for you. Something I also want to recommend that I have already read is Out There Screaming, and this is a collection of Black horror authors edited by Jordan Peele. I think it's the first publication from Monkey's Paw Publishing. If you don't know who Jordan Peele is, he did Us, Get Out, and Nope, some of my favorite movies. I actually haven't seen Us yet. I'm planning on watching that this fall. Forgot to put that in here. But you should definitely read this story collection. I read it like a month ago and I really, really loved it. It has some really, really good scary stories. I gave it 5 stars, and it's really rare that I give story collections 5 stars, so if that means anything to you, you should really go check it out. It has some great authors that I really love, like Tananarive Due, N.K. Jemisin. It has an introduction by Jordan Peele. I cannot recommend it enough. I loved this collection, and I think it just released like 2 days ago, so read that book. It was so good. For books, I want to recommend Dark Matter and Thin Air by Michelle Paver. They aren't like a series or anything, but they're very similar, and I wanted to put them together. They are just both like perfect, creepy, historical fiction ghost stories. There's no like crazy twists or anything. They're just like these great, like creeping, slow ghost stories. They both take place on like expeditions gone wrong. One is like climbing a huge mountain. I don't think it's Everest, but similar vibes. And then another one is, I think, traveling to like traveling to Antarctica to try to like find new land, colonize new land, I think. And things go very bad in both of these books. And they are so scary in just like such a nice, creepy way. And I just cannot recommend these enough. They're both from the UK. I don't know if they were ever printed in America. So I was like, should I order these online? I got them through Better World Books though, so they were both really inexpensive. And I didn't know if I should get them. I've been debating on it forever. You should read them. It is worth it. They're just so good. They're so good for like a nice, cozy night. I read them both in like almost one sitting, which is very rare for me. Probably like 2 sittings, which I never really do. They're just great. I would really recommend them. Next, I want to talk about some more like lifestyle-y things for fall. I wanted to start with talking about fall clothes, which I just really, really love fall outfits. Today, I'm wearing one of my favorite fall pieces, this really, really cute sweater. I thrifted it a couple years ago and I just love it. I'm wearing it with this cute like skirt deal. This is like my ginger snaps fit. It kind of fits the vibe of that for me. Soon, I'm moving right now. My girlfriend is moving in and we just have stuff scattered all over. Hopefully soon I'll have my fingerless gloves so I can complete that outfit because I just love this outfit. I wear it so often in the fall and I just think it's so cute. A couple other things, it's sweater season, but fall specifically, especially because I live in the South, it's not too cold yet. It's vest season. I love this little vest. I wore it the other day and I am so excited to wear it more. I have a couple other vests that I'm excited about. I have this I couldn't find it anywhere. I hate moving. I wanted to wear it for this video. It's this like super pretty crushed velvet purple dress. I call it my practical magic dress because when I wear it, I feel like I'm in practical magic. Hopefully I'll be able to find it soon. I wore it on the equinox and I just felt so cute. It was so cute, but I'm really excited to wear that. I also wanted to throw out this cute Sherpa. I wanted to have a Sherpa for when I feel not so feminine And I found this really cool button-down one by this brand called Duvin. And I think they're like a surf wear brand normally, but they put this out. And I love green. And I was just like obsessed with it. So I'm really excited once it gets a little colder to be able to wear this. I have so many other like fall outfits that I'm psyched about. I was thinking about maybe once it gets colder this year doing like a sweater collection video, because I am like a sweater wool enthusiast. And yeah, so if you are interested in that at all, let me know. I wanted to talk a little bit about autumn Halloween decor. Because we're moving, we don't have all of our Halloween stuff out, but I think we're decorating tonight. But we put all of this cute stuff out today. We have these adorable little calico critters. Let me show you one. This one glows in the dark. My girlfriend and I work at a toy store, so we always have this kind of stuff. I got this little house for them from Target, so they're trick-or-treating. We have some like vintage Halloween decorations, and one of my favorite candles. This is from Target. I like to have nicer candles too, but we're moving. I'm kind of broke right now. I love this one, Autumn Harvest. This has been like one of my favorite candles for a couple years now. Whenever it starts to get a little chilly, I'm really excited. But I just love decorating for Halloween. It gets me in the mood. And I am just really excited for the holidays this year. I just said my girlfriend's moving in with me. This is our first time living together, just us, for like an extended period of time, like for good. And we've been together on October 10th. It'll be our 4th anniversary. So I am really excited to celebrate Halloween in our home, doing whatever we want. It is going to be so lovely. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about some food, some fall food that I'm really excited about, that I've already been loving. I love some seasonal fall produce, and what I have just been obsessed with lately, I eat so many figs every week. I go to the farmer's market every week, and they always have figs, and I've been eating so many figs lately. I'm so like already sad for when it gets too cold and the figs stop growing, but I just love figs. I think I want to give myself a fig tattoo soon. Yeah, also butternut squash. It's almost soup season. I mean, it is soup season. It's getting chilly. I'm in the south, so it's not super cold yet. Like today it's like 75 degrees. But in the morning, it was like 50 degrees. So that's all that matters. I'm gonna make some butternut squash and pumpkin soup soon. I'm definitely like super susceptible to like going to Trader Joe's and buying all of their fall products. And I had the butternut squash and pumpkin soup there last week, and it was so good. So I've really been wanting to make it at home. Kate and I, for our anniversary, are gonna go apple picking, and we have this place that we've been going for like 3 years now, every anniversary. And I'm so excited to go because they have apple cider donuts, which are like our favorite thing in the world. If you haven't had an apple cider donut before, what are you doing? They're so good. I'm so excited, and we'll get some pumpkins for the house and some apple cider slushies when we go. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. I'm also, I think in the next couple days, we're gonna make the Pillsbury, those cookies with the little pumpkins and the little ghosts on them. I saw on Instagram the other day a recipe where you make chocolate chip cookies and put those on top of them. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. In terms of drinks, I am like a huge coffee drinker. I have an espresso, which I know it's wasteful, but sorry guys, it makes me happy. And sometimes that's more important. I made a rosemary syrup with the rosemary from my garden. So just a nice like rosemary simple syrup. And I had a rosemary latte, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I fucking loved it. And so I've been drinking a brown sugar rosemary latte every morning, and that has been just wonderful. I like a pumpkin spice latte, but sometimes it can be a little overpowering. So that is a perfect way to drink something like a little seasonal, but it's not too intense. Also, I've been really into chai lately. I have not been much of a tea drinker until this year. For like medicinal herbalism reasons, I've been like forcing myself to get into it and enjoy it more. But I have been really enjoying chai, and then I've been making herbal teas as well, just out of stuff from my garden. Those are very earthy and medicinal tasting, but it's an acquired taste, and I put a lot of honey in it. So I've been enjoying that as well. But yeah, that is kind of everything I have for you guys. I hope you liked this video. If it was kind of all over the place, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to I don't know, tell you some more lifestyle-y things that I've been enjoying, some movies. I have never talked about movies on here, and if you liked it, let me know. I've been thinking about making a my favorite movies of all time video or something like that. This is my first video of October, and I'm trying to get at least 3 videos out this October. So hold me to that. I have some really, really fun plans, and I'm really excited to share them with you. I have a really fun Halloween lineup planned. But yeah, I hope you are having a wonderful fall so far. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. My Instagram and Goodreads are in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!